Today I'm going to be sharing my 2024 cut flower seed order with you. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Karen and I'm recording here at Haven Meadows. I am a cut flower farmer florist here in northern Indiana, and today I am going to go through all of my seed varieties and tell you what I'm planning to grow this year. So to start us off, I've got a couple new seeds that just arrived. I was planning to open these on video, but I have two little boys who love to open packages, so they have been opened. So I'm just going to go through these and I'll show you what I've got. So I have one order from Baker Creek. I have a late arriving packet from Johnny's, and then something that I'm very excited about. I bought some, well, I just totally blanked on what these were called. I bought some hellebore seeds from Redemption Seeds, and they actually sent along this free packet, which I thought was super sweet. Apricot Beauty Foxglove seeds. So I'm actually out of those. So I'm really excited to have those. And then Hellebore's Orientals Hybrid Mix seeds. So this will be a mix, obviously, and so we'll see if we can get these to germinate and what we get from these. Kind of excited about that. And then the packet from Johnny's is a eucalyptus terraticornis, something like that. It was a new eucalyptus variety that they had, and it was back ordered, so it arrived quite a bit later than the other varieties did. Okay. The main seed that I wanted from Baker Creek, I've already placed at least one, if not two orders before this. But I saw Flower Hill Farm mention this incredible swirl coreopsis, and I thought it was so pretty, and I'm going to give this a try. And then just to fill out my order a wee bit, I bought some Canterbury Bells and some Swan Lake Salvia. These will be for my flower beds more so than cut flowers, so I don't think those make very good cut flowers. All right, so to get into the meat of things, I am growing a lot of the same things that I grew last year, but I do have some new varieties, and I will get my list right here. The way that my list is set up is it's organized according to what I start first. I'm actually going to be sharing my 2024 grow list, and this grow list has the weeks that I start them on, as well as a little bit of other information. So I will have a link below where you can get this list if you'd like. But for this year, I'm growing Lysianthus, Corelli Light Pink, Voyage 2 Champagne, and Voyage 2 White Improved. I grew all of those varieties last year, loved them so much, so I'm going to be planted more of those this year, and hopefully we'll have good success with those. Sweet Pea Jill Walton, that was one that I saved seeds from last year, and I actually had quite a nice collection of seeds, but I have had this horrible mouse who has come in. I planted them in 2 successions, and both of them, the day after or the night after I planted them, a mouse came in and ate a whole bunch of them. I do still have a couple plants. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can maybe get around 10 plants or so if I take cuttings off the top and root those. Anyway, I was super angry at that mouse, and I don't know if it's been caught. We've caught 2 others, but I'm not sure if we've caught the rogue one. So anyway, war is on here. Then I have Eucalyptus Silver Dollar, Eucalyptus Bookleaf Molly, and then the Eucalyptus tetracornis, something like that I mentioned a minute ago. And then, all right, then I have Foxglove Alba, and I'll also be planting the Foxglove Apricot Beauty now that I have those seeds. All right, next up is stock. Some of these varieties are from Baker Creek, and I'm not sure if they're Japanese or what they are, but I cannot pronounce. Well, I will try to pronounce them, but it's probably going to be wrong, so bear with me. But I have the stock Avalanche Supreme. That was one that I bought from Floret a year or 2 ago. Just this year, they have stopped selling any seeds except for their own Floret originals, which, by the way, I bought a packet of Little Flower Girl zinnia seeds from Flora. Their sale opened yesterday, and I was checked out by a minute after the sale opened, so I feel pretty good about that. I thought about getting more, but their seeds are pretty expensive, which I totally understand. There's nothing like them anywhere, and I'm sure it helps them to support their what they're doing and to be able to sell more seeds next year. But I did want to get those. The Little Flower Girl, it's a mix of like pastels. They're smaller, like a maybe Oklahoma type size from what I could see. All right, but getting back into stock. So like I had mentioned, the stock Avalanche Supreme. I have stock Iron Pink. And the ones that I have from Baker Creek, there is stock Kino Mai, stock Sakura Noota, and then I actually think there's two more that I missed. Actually, I think maybe they're empty now. Okay, all right, well there's one more, and it's actually my favorite. I think it's stock Asa something. I will find that and I will make sure to include a picture. It's actually not on my list here. I'm not sure why not, but it must have gotten missed. And then I have Feverfew Virgo, Ami White Dill. Oh, okay. So the Feverfew and everything that I mentioned before that, I have started so far. And the next few days, I want to start Ami White Dill, Delphinium Magic Fountains Mix, Poppy, California Poppy, Thai Silk Champagne. I'm sorry, Iceland Poppy Sherbet Mix. And then I saved some ranunculus chromosome last year. I have not bought any new ones for my ranunculus last year. It was a very experimental thing, and I just bought like a little packet of them or a little bag of them, and I planted them in a bulb crate, and then I moved them in and out during the colder weather. They did okay. I had a problem with them not being watered well enough, and so that's definitely something that would need to improve. And also, what happened is, if I remember correctly, they bloomed right at the end of May, or maybe it was like around May 24th, and I had nothing else that was blooming at the time. I'm not quite sure if I need to adjust my timing or just have a better plan for what I can pair with those ranunculus. I'm actually able to build a cohesive bouquet. And then moving on to Scabiosa, I have Scabiosa Black Knight, Scabiosa Pincushion Formula Mix, Scabiosa Snow Maiden. Last year, the Black Knight and the Snow Maiden did really well for me, and the Pincushion, not so much. I forget exactly what happened with those. I believe some of them maybe dried up while they were in their seed trays before they got planted out. And also, they just seem to not be quite as hardy as the other varieties, so I'm not quite sure what caused that. All right, so moving on to Snapdragons. I have Costa Mix, and then I have Costa Midley White. I don't think there is a white in the Costa Mix. I could be wrong about that. But I had wanted to make sure that I have some Snapdragons that were white. So I bought an extra variety of white ones. All right, and then I have Snapdragon Potomac Apple Blossom. Oh, and I ordered a couple more varieties of Snapdragons the other day. Those have not arrived yet. Okay. So it's Chantilly, that's what it was. That's the one I couldn't think of. Chantilly Light Salmon, Madame Butterfly Bronze, and that's it. Oh, there are a couple more cut flowers that are on this list. I'll just mention these as I'm going through this anyway. I bought some straw flower. I haven't tried straw flower before, but I've seen the apricot peach mix that Johnny sells from quite a few different growers, and I've really liked that. So decided to give that one a try. And I bought another variety of stock. This was a new variety from Johnny's. It's called Antique Rose. I believe they had like 3 new colors in this series. They were all really pretty, but some of them were similar to what I already had. So decided to go with Antique Rose. Oh, and then I bought the Elegance Formula Mix, Sweet Pea Mix. I wasn't quite sure if I'm going to get sweet peas from the ones that I planted. And some of the colors in this aren't colors that I normally use or grow, but I decided to just buy this since there's like kind of variety, and there are a couple colors in here that I really want. So I'll probably just keep seed from the ones that I like, and then I'll plant those next year. I also bought one more variety of eucalyptus. Okay, I'm gonna have a lot of eucalyptus this year. I also bought the Silver Plate. Silver Plate is it's the kind that I really want and have wanted for many years already. I grew it like my first year, I think. All right, and then I have Sahara Rebecca, Gumfrina. I'm growing the QIS formula mix as well as the Gumfrina raspberry cream. Last year was the first year that I tried Gumfrina. I was really happy with it, really liked that a lot. So excited for that. And then I also do have some anemone bulbs that I kept from last year. And I don't know what my success is going to be if I plant them from year to year. We'll just see. For the place that I'm at this year, I'm just going to try and replant the ones that I had last year. I'm not really at the point where I want to do low tunnels or really get into mastering ranunculus anemones. It's just kind of something extra that I want to try on the side if I can figure it out. So, all right, and then we have cinnamon basil. I'm adding some new varieties of Cosmos. I have Cosmos Afternoon White, Apricota, Apricot Lemonade, Seashells Mix, and BOUQUET. And then next it just says dahlias. I will do a separate video of the dahlias that I'm planning to grow this year. I just checked my dahlias the other day, and I think we're going to have some viable, quite a few viable tubers. There's some that definitely stored better than others. The biggest problem that I had this year was with them shriveling and a little bit of mold. I think there was some moisture in my tub up top, and so there wasn't a lot of mold. There's only maybe like three tubers or so that I threw out. But Cornell Bronze did really well. I am just so impressed with that variety. They are such a workhorse in the garden, and their tubers were really firm, yet I'm just really pleased overall with that variety. We have Status, Apricot Beauty, Status Forever Silver. Last year was also my first year for Status, and I just grew that in white. I was very happy with it, and so I got the Apricot Beauty to try this year as well. And then for zinnias, I have Benary's Giant Salmon Rose, Benary's Giant White, and then last year I replanted seed that I had gathered, so it would be 2 years now. I gathered some of my own seed, and I planted them this like 2023. And I got some really pretty pink colors that I am planning to save, or I did. Here we go. I saved seed from those, and I'm just working on doing some of my own breeding. It's nothing super intensive. It's just kind of a fun side project. So I have that pink mix, and then I have Benary's Giant Wine, Oklahoma Salmon, which I've grown before, and then I decided to try Oklahoma White. There is a certain short window at the beginning of like July where I need like the big zinnias, but then after the zinnias start blooming, I like to use the smaller zinnias like the Queen Lime series, Oklahoma, and I'm planning to use a little flower gold mix with that as well, but to use them more as a filler flower rather than having the big zinnias as my focal flower. All right, where are we going? Okay, and then last of all, I have the Zinnia Queen Lime Red and Queen Orange. Queen Lime Orange. There's a typo here. And then a couple others that are at the bottom of my list because they're direct sown. I have Bells of Ireland, Bupleurum, Larkspur QIS White, and Nigella Green Pod. Last year was my first year that I grew Nigella and Bupleurum, and also that I grew Larkspur successfully. So I was very happy about that. And there's actually a whole bunch of seeds out in my flower garden where they dropped from last year. They've survived all winter, and I'm going to have to divide them and go through them a little bit because there's so many out there. But all of those, Bupleurum, Larkspur, Nigella, I believe there's one more that I'm missing. I can't think of it right now. Maybe it was just those three, but I saw seedlings from all those varieties, so that's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found this interesting, and like I mentioned before, I will have my entire grow list for 2024 linked below, so you can head down to the description to find that if you are local to my area in Shipshewana, Indiana. My expected last frost date is around May 5th, and then my first frost date is usually around October 5th. Usually it goes a week or two later. But if you are in a similar zone or similar area, this would probably be a good list for you to use or even just adjust if you're interested. So be sure to check that out. And overall, I just hope you found this interesting, and I always love to know what other people are growing. Oh, and like I mentioned, I do plan to do a separate video on the dahlias that I am planning to grow this year. So keep an eye out for that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.